Why does your French Bulldog keep licking your hand even when the room is already calm? Many people call it a cute habit, but to your dog, it is usually a message. The first layer is simple. Your hand carries salt, skin scent, and the story of where you have been. One lick can be taste, but repeat licking usually means your dog wants more than flavor. French Bulldogs are deeply people-focused, so they often use close contact to read the person they trust. Your hand is the easiest place to reach when your dog wants connection without asking too loudly. It sits at nose level, moves often, and answers back with touch almost every time. So when that tongue lands again and again, your dog may be testing whether closeness is welcome. Licking can be a gentle check-in, almost like asking, "Are you here with me right now?" That is why it often happens when you stop moving, sit down, or let your attention drift away. In those quiet pauses, your dog notices distance long before you realize you created it. A French Bulldog does not need a big separation to feel a small drop in contact. Sometimes the licking starts right after you come home because reunion energy is still bubbling inside the body. Your scent is fresh again, your hands are available again, and your dog wants to reconnect fast. Other times it happens during a cuddle, when the body is relaxed and the bond already feels safe. Slow, spaced out licks in those moments often belong to calm affection, not urgency. Fast, repeated licking can mean something different. Excitement is rising and the body needs an outlet. Instead of barking or bouncing away, your dog may pour that energy into your skin. This is especially common in companion breeds that stay tuned to human movement all day. French Bulldogs were shaped to stay close, so tiny gestures from you can feel very important. A hand reaching down can mean petting, play, guidance, food or comfort, all in one object. That makes your hand less like furniture and more like a living signal board. Your dog also learns quickly which behaviors open the door to attention. If licking makes you smile, laugh, speak softly or stroke the chest, the pattern gets stronger. From your dog's view, the behavior worked, so repeating it makes perfect sense. Even pulling your hand away can keep the game alive, because movement can feel rewarding too. That is why a habit can look emotional, instinctive and learned at the same time. Licking is not always one reason. It is often several small reasons stacked together. Taste may start it, but relationship usually keeps it going. There is also a soothing side to licking that many owners miss. Repetition can help a dog settle internal tension the same way pacing or chewing sometimes does. If the room feels uncertain, your hand becomes a familiar target with a familiar result. Your dog licks, you respond, and the world makes sense again for one more moment. This can happen when guests visit, when routines shift, or when your mood feels harder to read. Dogs notice tiny changes in speed, posture, breath, and muscle tension long before words arrive. Your hand carries those changes clearly because it tightens, softens, points, opens, and disappears. So licking can be a way of reading you as much as contacting you. It is not mind reading, but it is very skilled body reading. When you feel stressed, your dog may return to your hand more often than usual, not because the dog understands your problems, but because the dog feels your state has changed. A lick then becomes both question and answer. What is happening and can we reconnect? Some French Bulldogs also lick when they want something predictable to happen next. Before meals, before walks, or before bedtime, the hand may become part of the ritual. Your dog is not just tasting skin, it may be nudging the clock forward. This is why context matters more than the licking alone. A relaxed body, soft eyes, and loose breathing tell a very different story from pacing and whining. In one moment, licking means affection, and in another, it means the dog cannot fully settle, as the tongue stays the same, but the emotional meaning shifts with the whole body. Watch what happens right before the licking begins, because the trigger is often hiding there. Does it start after you touch your phone, stand up, sigh, eat, or stop petting? Those tiny beginnings reveal whether your dog wants comfort, attention, information, or routine. French Bulldogs can also be stubborn about contact once a pattern feels emotionally important. If licking has become their favorite way to reopen the connection, they will return to it often. That persistence is not rudeness, It is confidence that this
You're
language
such a
works
good
on you.
boy.
The good news is that you
yes,
can
you
answer the
are.
need without letting the habit take over. First, decide what the licking seems to mean in that specific moment: affection, arousal, or stress.
Let's play a game, sweetie.
Then respond to the
Find
feeling,
treats.
not just the tongue. If your dog wants closeness, offer a calm stroke, eye contact, or a quiet hand rest. If your dog is overstimulated, slow the scene down instead of turning it into louder excitement. If your dog is bored, a short sniffing game can say more than endless petting. If the behavior always appears around routine moments, build a clearer cue your dog can trust. Predictability lowers the need to keep checking your hand for the answer. You can also teach a gentle pause by rewarding calm stillness before the licking starts. That way, your dog learns another path to connection that does not depend on constant tongue contact. What you should not do is shame the dog for using a social tool that once felt safe. Harsh correction can add confusion to a behavior that may already be asking for reassurance. Still,
keep coming back
sudden
to that
excessive
hand.
licking deserves
Something's not
attention
right.
if it appears with restlessness,
Panting.
discomfort,
Just tell
or
me
a big
what's
change in
wrong.
behavior. When
You
the
okay,
pattern
buddy?
becomes intense or
going
unusual,
on?
it is worth checking for stress or a physical problem.
Tell me
Most
what's
of the
wrong.
time, though, that repeated licking is your French Bulldog keeping the bond active. Beneath the wet little habit is a simple question your dog asks with total sincerity:
wrong, boy?
are we okay?
You seem very tense.